largely hidden away for now. It won't be long before you'll be surrounded with many other buildings and ashrams. Whichever way you look at it, this is the way it's going. We have to surround ourselves with transcendental sound vibrations, association of devotees. Like real chance to become protected from whatever other objects of attention may come in our lives, to absorb ourselves in Srimad Bhagavatam, absorb ourselves in words of our acharyas, pastimes of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, our acharyas, hearing about them, and trying to follow in their footsteps to assist them in their spreading of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's a wonderful opportunity to come and hear from them for hours a day, discussing. Maybe a few days ago I was talking to one sannyasi devotee who was very learned, and he was explaining something. I can't remember which shastra he said. One of the shastras described how for our realization, for our Krishna consciousness, we gain 25%. Of course, this is just approximate. 25% from hearing from others. 25% from what we hear, we reflect on. Of course, we have to digest it. So that we reflect on it, think about it, this in our own hearts, try to understand it, assimilate it in our hearts. 25% by sitting with other devotees and discussing the subject matter, like the Goswamis would do. And 25% by life's experience, putting it into practice, and by the experience we have in our lives, to understand how everything that exists, whether it's a brick building or whether it's a beautiful forest, everything is connected to Krishna. How everything has its part to play, and how it can play its part. Every living entity and every object of this world is nothing but an expansion of Krishna's energies. And thus, in one sense, is simultaneously one and different from the Lord himself. And how to realize this, well, we regularly hear that Jiva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada himself, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj all express the importance of chanting, whether it's deity worship, we're doing administration work, farming, raising a family, whatever service we're doing, cooking, cleaning, working in some occupational activity or occupational hazard, whatever it is that we're doing, accompanied with the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. This will help us, like Siddhartha mentions, help us not to see ourselves as much as the doer, but rather the servant. Because whatever that we're doing in life, we're dealing with Krishna. We're dealing with his energy and how to utilize that energy in a way which will please Krishna the most, according to time and circumstance. And the chanting Hare Krishna is the most effective means to help us to keep that focus. That's why the Lord has appeared. We were reading a beautiful verse the other day in the Chaitanya Charitamrita where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Sanatana Goswami, how the gopis are just captivating by the sound of Krishna's flute. He said it's just like a bird enters their heart and makes a nest in their heart. That bird is the transcendental sound vibration of Krishna's flute. And that's interest in any other sound. So how does that relate to us? We can't start imagining I'm hearing Krishna's flute. Wow, can you hear it? I can hear it. Not quite on that level. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, after discussing the effects of Krishna's flute, he describes how Krishna's flute manifests in this world as the Mahamantra. Because the sound of Krishna's flute appears in this world as the sound of the holy names. So we can become absorbed in chanting and hearing and sharing the holy name with each other and with everyone. Like that, all of the, say, dust in the heart will be cleansed away, purified. All the dirty things in your hearts, all the desires and attachments for trying to see things separately from Krishna will be blown away. We were reading in Bhagavatamrta the other day, Bhagavatamrta, where it could be the day talking about separatist devotional service, which means service which we render, but we're not seeing it in relationship to Krishna. We're seeing it in relationship to ourselves. With ourselves in the center, trying to enjoy the activity, the fruits of the activity, and so on. We have to transform that attitude. That's the principle, you say, challenge or purpose of this one, to transform that attitude from Atmanendriya to Krishnendriya, towards Krishna. So I'm going to read some sweet verses from Bhagavatamrta on the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. And this is, of course, if you've read the Bhagavatamrta, you'll know the general outline of how Gopakumara is a simple cowboy boy from Govardhan, going to all different planes of perfection. So in a sense, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his discussion with Ramananda Roy, taking us through different planes of perfection. For the gross materialist, material sense enjoyment on this planet is the objective goal, the perfection of their lives, and what goes up to their heavens, higher and higher to Tapaloka and Janaloka, Siddhaloka, up to Kailash and beyond Ramaloka, Kailash, all the way through the Brahmajyoti to the Vaikunthas and on the way up. So on his way to the highest perfection, which of course was already available in his very place in Govardhan, but on his way we're going to read some verses. And these are beautiful verses about the chanting of the holy name. You have to excuse me, I didn't have a chance to get this in any kind of, this was for another subject. I was collecting these verses yesterday, but I thought we'd read them tonight, if I can find them. I'll stay here. Excuse me, I've got to go back on the computer's on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you do have it on your mobile or whatever, it's Bhagavatamrta 23159. Of the many ways to chant Krishna's glories, foremost is his Nam Sankirtan. He is deemed the best because it can evoke at once the treasure of pure love for Krishna. You know, when we have a treasure, we generally keep it a little secret. Generally, you lock it up very carefully. It's not accessible to everyone easily. Keep it safe. Safekeeping. So this pure love of Krishna is a treasure. A treasure. The Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda broken the seal of that treasure. Allowing that praying Sankirtan to be accessible to all. We have to take that mercy. So of all the ways to chant Krishna's glories, there are many ways. The chanting of Nam Sankirtan is deemed the best because it evokes that treasure of pure love of Krishna to be woken in our hearts by the loud chanting of the holy names of Krishna. In the commentary, besides Nam Sankirtan, chanting of the Lord's names, there are other ways of performing kirtan, such as reciting the Vedas and Puranas, speaking one's own narrations of pastimes of the Lord, singing devotional songs, and offering prayers. And the Sankirtan, however, is the best of all, because it can at once independently awaken love of God in the heart. Lord Vishnu's messengers are personally convinced of this, and as implied by the unspecific expression, Madam, it is considered. This is also the opinion of many other spiritual authorities. Next verse. When relished with love in countless ways through service rendered constantly by the tongue, the nectar of Sri Krishna's name delights the heart. Who can describe the unequaled excellence of that nectar of Sri Krishna's holy name? Only those who are absorbed, those who are actually tasting that nectar. It's like everything. How can we describe anything unless we really have a taste for it? We can repeat something, what we heard, that's fine. But to really relish that, to really express that, we must have the actual taste of the holy name, only those who have it. So we hear from those personalities, Sri Prabhupada and our acharyas, many great devotees who have a taste for that nectar of the holy name. And they have no other desire of Bhakti Vinod. Appeals to us, at least a pardon, at least once in this lifetime, relish, taste of the sweet holy name, at least once. Because we actually relish it, we wouldn't have any interest in anything else. Because it's so, the taste is far superior to everything else that we can imagine. Next verse. Though all names of the Lord are equally great, a devotee most quickly, most easily achieves his goals. By chanting the name he himself holds most dear. You see this in Lord Chaitanya's pastime sometimes. Some of his devotees were devotees of other forms of Krishna. Or you look to others, they were devotees of Lord Ramchandra. And for them to chant Hare Krishna mantra, they would do it, but their heart was sold on Ramchandra, so they would chant other names. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some other, and maybe I'm absolutely good fortune that he's giving us the opportunity to chant the highest Mahamantra. The only, Bhaktisiddhanta said, the only infallible means of perfection through chanting the holy name of Mahamantra. This is the emperor, he describes it, the emperor of all sadhana, is Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name. We also have japa, it's also important, but the prime this Kali Yuga, we know the prime dharma, Yajna Sankirtanam Praya Vijatihi Sumedesha, Kalita Dharma Harinama Sankirtana. Sankirtana is congregational chanting. loud congregational chanting of the holy name. This is the Yuga Dharma. This is the only effective means in this Kali Yuga to counteract all the ill effects of this age. The emperor of all sadhana. Sadhana means that which helps us to become absorbed in Sankirtan. If our activities are not achieving that purpose, then they can be impediments on the path. Pure bhakti. Pure bhakti bestowed upon us by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers is through the Sankirtan, through congregational chanting of the holy names. So we carry on. Since people differ in their likings, each name of the Lord is dear to one person or another. All the names of the Lord are therefore dear. Krishna is reciprocating. One time Prabhupada asked Prabhupada, why Krishna has so many colors and forms? And Prabhupada said to satisfy his devotees, because they like certain colors. They're attracted to certain forms or certain moods. Krishna is reciprocating. There's unlimited variety in the spiritual world, far more than we can imagine. And similarly, Krishna takes on different forms to please his devotees. The devotees also, to please Krishna, they dance in a certain way, they sing in a certain way, they dress, they have different colors. Everything about them is to bring pleasure to Krishna. In the material world is to bring pleasure to ourselves. The Sankirtan movement is the transformation, the environment or the association of that transformation from seeing ourselves in the center to seeing Krishna in the center. We have to go quite deep because within our hearts there's many samskaras, many false ego. Because of the false ego, we've developed so many coverings. The intensity, the intensity of our chanting. You can't expect to extinguish the blazing fire of material existence by, inattentive, offensive chanting. It won't work. We have to be serious in our chanting, whether it's kirtan or japa or Bhagavad recital, to really connect with Krishna. In whatever form he's appearing, but to connect with him by hearing, attentively, making all the efforts we can. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, have you heard me attentively, Arjuna? Are your doubts now dispelled? If you have not heard me attentively, but act through false ego, you will be lost. To hear Krishna's instruction, to hear his form as a name, the sound of Krishna's fruit, which will attract our hearts and take us away from all the reflections of that sound which manifest in this world through various material sounds. The beautiful sounds of the lorries and the aeroplanes and the rock music and the videos blasting out and all other forms of mundane sound vibrations which pervade the atmosphere. We have to take shelter of the pure sound of the holy name. We have to take shelter. It's not just a question of chanting and not taking shelter. How do we take shelter? Well, at least we can begin by trying to be attentive. Other things may follow. A doubting person might ask whether only some of the Lord's names are worshipped and others are neglected. In fact, however, every name of the Lord has its devotees, otherwise it wouldn't be there. Krishna's got his expansions and unlimited devotees who worship the Lord in that form. This will always be the case, but there's no shortage. Unlimited opportunities for the unlimited conditioned souls to engage in service to Krishna in unlimited forms. But Lord Chaitanya's emphasis was on the two-one form of Krishna playing the flute. So your followers of Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami, The word he in this verse indicates that this is certainly true. Some Vaishnavas prefer one particular name, and some are attracted to 2 names, 3 names, or several. So we can see how attractive the Hare Krishna mantra is. I don't know everyone's experience, but most devotees attest to the fact that they chant and chant. Does it become boring after chanting for 1 hour? What do you think? Does it become boring? Yes or no? Yes. It bores into our hearts. If our heart is sort of iron, like iron, very materialistic, we might, because our mind will be distracted, lose interest. But if we're actually in association with the devotees, chanting the holy name, you don't want to stop. You don't want to stop. It goes on and on and on for eternity. With eternal sound vibration. The sound of Krishna. Is what the soul needs. We need this. And it never becomes dry or boring. It becomes ever fresh. Every day in, day out. Chanting the holy name of Krishna. Same mantra, sometimes people have captured it. They don't really sing anything else. We do sometimes. But primarily we chant the mantra. Everything is in the mantra. Krishna has invested all of his potencies in the holy name. There's no need of any other process. Jiva Goswami describes how simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna without offense, one achieves all perfection, all the results, all of the paths, practices are fully manifest in the pure chanting of the holy name. Everything is there. No need of any other practice. Just by having faith in chanting the holy name of Krishna. We need to help each other to develop that faith. Remind each other, encourage each other by doing it and discussing the holy name. Practically chanting. We were just having a little interview. Taking the holy name to others. This is one way, one special way of getting the mercy of the holy name. By giving the holy name, at least offering the holy name to others. Because we can't control the holy name, but if we become an instrument serving to the holy name, we may become an instrument to distribute the holy name to others. It's up to the holy name what Krishna wants. At least we can try to become a humble servant of the name. Become like a peon to spread the holy name everywhere. But not just like a peon. We want to be ourselves. Postman may not really understand what he's giving. We need to have an understanding of what we're giving. We have to enter into the understanding of the holy name. It's non-different from Krishna. It is Krishna himself. This is what good fortune could imagine. Krishna has personally appeared to get his association. Sometimes we forget, we think it's just something we use to achieve something or to achieve our vow. It is not. It's Krishna personally present. Here I am. We go all out of our way to associate with people we like, for whatever reason, things we like. But Krishna, the all-attractive personality of God, our best friend, the reservoir of all pleasure, has personally come. Here I am. And all we have to do with the right attitude is to take association with Krishna. What better association could we have than to associate with Krishna? And normally one has to be pure in heart to even contemplate that. Of course, ultimately we do. But he's made himself so much easier, so much accessible by appearing in the Mahamantra. Sure, we're not realizing Krishna in full, but in this age particularly, the Lord is making himself so much easier to approach. Anyone can chant the holy names. There are no hard and fast rules. If we want to realize what kind of pure devotional service, then we have to make an effort. There are certain rules and regulations, you could say. There are certain principles to follow to help us on that path. But ultimately, it's the sincere, the desire of the soul. Do we want? And if it's a strong desire, and then the mercy of Krishna is like Mother Yasoda, the endeavor with all of our heart to find Krishna, but ultimately it depended upon Krishna's mercy. So we make a sincere endeavor if we want to realize the essence of this Krishna consciousness movement, to practice chanting the holy name attentively without offense. Those beginning stages, no doubt. If we don't go through the beginning stages, we're not likely to reach the more advanced stages. Whatever name we're chanting, we should be attentive. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
It'd be nice if we could hear every single syllable, every name, every mantra in the heart. Well, I don't know, maybe you are emphasizing it, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be so much emphasized. We sit together, we sit in the temple. So much emphasis was placed. Even Srila Prabhupada sometimes at the beginning of japa would sit with devotees and together they would chant one round, all together, trying to hear the name. In Kirtan the same thing. Try to hear the name. Don't worry about anything else. Krishna will do everything else. He'll arrange everything. The space for the holy name will be long. When the nectar of the Lord's name appears in just one sense, all the senses are flooded with their own sweet tastes. Even if just through the ear, everything is flooded with the sweet taste. Especially the heart. Especially the heart. It's sometimes described as Lochan Das Thakur describes in Chaitanya Mahavidyalaya. The chanting of the holy name is just like the ghee which we use in a yajna. And the tongue is like a ladle, pouring the ghee into the openings to the sacrificial fire, which are like the ears. And when that ghee enters into the actual yajna or into the heart, it blazes in the heart. And when the whole pure holy name enters into the heart, you have a blazing fire of ecstatic love for Krishna awakens in the heart. Nice. Every enjoyment possible is fulfilled. I remember when I first came to the temple, well, not the first time, I got a Bhagavatamrta after some time. And I remember reading one verse in the Bhagavatamrta. It was 2 something, Yavan Art Udapane Sampadaksam. You know that verse? All purposes that are served by a small reservoir, small pool, small pond, are served by the large reservoirs of water. Large reservoir has everything the small pond has and more. Similarly, one who knows the purpose behind the Vedas is understood to know the Vedas. There's no need to make a separate endeavor. So that verse meant a lot to me because I was thinking when I first came to the temple, how will this, I had lots of other desires and things which I thought I was getting pleasure from. I thought, okay, I like this Hare Krishna, but how will this fulfill all these other desires? When I read that verse, it clicked that Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure. And it's after all, for the soul, although in one sense we don't render service necessary to feel pleasure, but it is the nature of the self to be pleasure-seeking and not only be of sense. I was thinking that, if it's pleasure, it's the pleasure I get out of these things that attracts me, not the thing itself. If there's no pleasure there, I wouldn't be attracted to it. There's some pleasure there. So Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure. Whatever little pleasure we find in the objects of this world ultimately comes from Krishna. And Krishna is the reservoir of it. These little things come and go. 1 minute they're here, the next minute they're gone. Sometimes you get pleasure and sometimes we don't. But when we connect with Krishna, material objects are always like that, flickering, shadow of both. Intention. This pleasure from contacting Krishna is never ending. It's a reservoir. Reservoir never dries up. Little ponds dry up in the sun. But the reservoir doesn't. Krishna is the sun as well as the reservoir, you can say. The reservoir of nectar. So we take shelter of Krishna consciousness. Everything will be satisfied. All of the real desires of the soul will be satisfied. Not just the reflected desires of this world, trying to replace the pleasure that we get from pure devotional service. Everything else is paltry because it's just a reflection. Like trying to enjoy a reflection in the water, what can you get? And this chanting of Hare Krishna is the prime means that helps to awaken our desire, purify our hearts, please Krishna, and take us back to Godhead. So we'll read on. A few more verses. Appearing mainly in the sense of speech, the Lord's name gives pleasure to the chanter and to others, so even greater than meditation on the Lord is his Nam Sankirtan, because it gives pleasure to others. When we meditate, that's just for our own benefit. Even japa is primarily for our own benefit, but Nam Sankirtan benefits everyone, no matter who they are, even the non-moving living entities. Haridas Thakur appeased the anxiety of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by expressing that the loud chanting of the holy name, every living entity is Stavro or Jungle or whatever they are, every living entity is benefited by the loud chanting of the holy name. And far more superior than the silent chanting of the holy name, because everyone around, the trees, the birds, the insects, the plants, humans, everything, even the non-moving entities, even stones, are benefited by the loud chanting of the holy name of Krishna. The Sankirtan of Krishna's name is praised as the best and most powerful means to attain the treasure of Krishna Prema. It is like a potent mantra that can attract precious objects from a distance. It attracts Krishna's attention, attracts the devotees, attracts the mercy of the Lord. So in your school here, you have a wonderful opportunity in Vrindavan to simultaneously study the Shastras, develop good Vaishnava qualities in association of devotees, without the qualities simultaneously developing the understanding and the ability or the empowerment to spread this message will not be there. It's not just a matter of repeating things, but it's the quality of the attitude along with it. And along with our studies, as much as we can, the chanting of the holy names. We'd like to go beyond the mechanical platform, do more advanced stages. Mostly we stick on the mechanical side, finishing our rounds, and then that's it. We never finish our rounds. We've never finished. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, one who thinks that they finished their rounds, that is a sure sign of offensive chanting. We've never finished. We may be on that platform to some degree, but we should always want to chant more, especially in Vrindavan. Chant more and more and more. Even if we have other things to do, we can chant in between. Sometimes we can chant at the same time. Prabhupada himself described, whilst we're cleaning, whilst we're eating, whilst we're sleeping, walking, doing things, chant Hare Krishna. Jiva Goswami describes similarly. Every activity should be accompanied by the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. And this will help to purify our hearts, purify the atmosphere, benefit others, that keep us from becoming self-centered and so on and so forth. Much as possible, chant the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, and then your school will become very attractive. There's nothing more attractive than the holy name. So, Hare Krishna, I wish you all the very best here in trying to help devotees to imbibe the Srimad Bhagavatam, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the holy name of Krishna, and also to devoutly. Lord Chaitanya himself stated that religious principles are established by the behavior of a devotee. So behavior is also important. Developing Vaishnava qualities. And Krishna will be happy to manifest himself. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All Premanandi. Now we'd like to have any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have one question regarding chanting. In your talk, you mentioned that after chanting for some time, we do not find much attraction towards the holy name, like we become bored in our heart.
Do we? No, I was asking that.
Okay.
You shouldn't do.
So Maharaj, like it's my personal experience. In the beginning of our Krishna consciousness life, our chanting is more or less, in my case at least, I could chant more attentively. But then I became full-time and I was expecting that my quality of chanting would increase. But in contrary, it diminishes.
Oh dear.
And I find it very difficult to
oh my goodness.
Chant attentively and mostly offensively. And
maybe you shouldn't be. Yeah? Maybe you shouldn't be full-time then. Go back up. Chant properly.
So, how to avoid this Maharaj? Now, of course, it's a timeless question, but always I struggle to chant attentively and without offense.
I was talking to one disciple, Rasaprayana, over here. He was maybe a little like you. Before he joined the temple, he was devotee chanting, doing preaching also. Then he joined the temple in Delhi, and you sometimes you get caught up in so many things, sometimes not even enough time to read. I was talking to a Brhad disciple today, and he said he's in Vrindavan, he's chanting 32 rounds or more, and reading for hours and hours a day Bhagavatam, but he never did it, he said, in 25 years as a full-time devotee in the temple. So what is this? You come to Hare Krishna, Prabhu, we have no time to read books, we've got things to do. Come on, have you finished your rounds? Hurry up. God, you can take all day finishing your rounds, Prabhu. You think we've got nothing better to do? Sometimes this mentality is there. I'm sure it's not here, but it is sometimes there. And, and you're rushing to chant your rounds, you're trying to squeeze a page or two of the Bhagavatam in between things and hope that no one catches you while you're reading. Whatever it is, sometimes it's as bad as that. But there's another thing going on here, that in the stage of Shuddhanam, there's a cleansing process going on. Cleansing, and the association of devotees. Sometimes we don't realize how many anarthas we've got, because when we're living outside, a lot of those anarthas are accommodated. We don't even notice them, they're comfortable. Our independence, we may have a little bit of money, you can come and go a little bit as you like, you've got your own space, you can sleep when you need to, probably. There are a few factors. When you come into the temple and the association of devotees, then what is the quality of chanting? Is the quality of chanting is not just attentive. Attentive chanting is so that we can become purified by the sound vibration, but that's not itself the essential quality. What is the quality for chanting that Lord Chaitanya says, expresses? Srinada Pisinichena, with a humble heart, lower than the straw on the street, more tolerant than a tree, respectful to others and not expecting any respect in return. In the association of devotees, in many ways, these not only are our anarthas shown up, but in the association of devotees, they can also be removed if we recognize them. And if we stay in the association, serve and hear in the association of devotees, it's the cleansing of the anarthas, removing from our heart. And humility and tolerance. You have to be tolerant in the association of devotees. Maybe we have to practice, but we have to develop humility in the association of devotees. We won't be able to stay otherwise. And don't expect respect. We have to respect all the devotees, every living entity, but particularly the devotees. We're not here to get respected. So it may be that certain things, like as you say, you felt like you were chanting with more enthusiastic, maybe more attentive. But Krishna's preparing us in the association of devotees that we develop a favorable attitude, so our chanting actually becomes pure. Not just attentive, but pure. There's a big difference. Prabhupada described that means. One devotee asked one time, Srila Prabhupada, how do we come to really pure chanting? He said, you'll come to it when you come to it. It's not like some mechanical practice. There's a process which we follow, and by the mercy of the Lord, the dirt in our heart will be removed, cleansed away. So our pure connection with Krishna will slowly start to manifest. So right now, Prabhupada gives the example that sometimes when we clean a room, it looks clean, but then when you start cleaning it, you find dirt everywhere. And for a while it seems like it's dirtier than it was before. You think, well, I'm not getting anywhere here, dirt everywhere. But you keep cleaning and cleaning, and eventually it's actually cleansed. So when we're in the association of devotees, all these things come up, they're pointed out, as speeding up our devotional path if we take advantage of it. It's a little austere, it's a little challenging sometimes, a little difficult we could say, but we're required to be tolerant and humble and respectful in our dealings, in our practices towards the holy name, Vaishnavas and so on. And at the same time, please note, as you've noted, that therefore we should try to do something about it as well. Not just say, oh, that's part of the process. We should make a sincere endeavor to do something about it. Sit with devotees, discuss these things, how we can help each other to become more absorbed in chanting the holy name. We can make efforts there. There should be discussions on it. Practice that together, attentively. We're trying to hear the sound of the holy name. What is blocking us? What is diverting our attention? What is it? Maybe it's technology, maybe it's sense enjoyment. Whatever it is. Of course, the Vedic system has different situations to help people in different ways so they can not become disturbed by that. So to situate ourselves properly, etc. is also important so that we're not so disturbed by various things, that's a fact. But somehow or other we have to develop a genuine attraction. Prabhupada said ultimately that means one chants the holy name. Tended chanting ultimately means love, with real love. It's not just some mechanical imposition. When you love somebody, you're attentive. So we've got to come to that platform. It takes time. It takes mercy. We've got to pray for mercy. Pray for the mercy of the holy name. Repeat prayers to the holy name. There are so many beautiful prayers glorifying the name, appealing to the name. When, oh when will that day be mine? Kabe habiboro, sedi namar, aparada guchi, shudaname ruchi, Kripa Poli Habe Hridaye Sancha Tavi Habe Bolo Sedi Namar. When, oh when will that day be mine, offences ceasing, taste of the name increasing? When in my heart will your mercy shine? When, oh when will that day be mine? Prayers like this for Bhaktivinoda Thakur help us to, by hearing of great devotees who have love for Krishna, by hearing about them, it helps us to become inspired, attracted for chanting the holy name of Krishna purely. At least we can start trying to help each other to be a little more serious, a little more attentive, and chant more. We tend to minimize. If after 30 years in the movement we're still struggling to chant 16 rounds, that's not so good. We should be wondering if we should be more chanting, more and more and more. We require association to help move past that stage. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think it's 7 o'clock now. Yep, it's 7 o'clock.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Can you explain what can help us to realize that Nama and Nani are not different?
I didn't quite catch it.
How to realize?
How to realize?
Nama and Nami not different.
The name and the named. Yeah.
Not different. Yeah. What can help us to realize that name is not different from Krishna?
How can you realize it? Well, how do we get realizations? Where do realizations come from? Anything come to that? Where does the realization come from? Think about it. Where does realization come from? You can theoretically accept or not accept, but realization, where does realization come? Where will it come from? Where do you think?
No, it's a mercy.
What?
It's a mercy of Krishna and Vaishnavas.
Mercy of Krishna and the Vaishnavas. Very good answer. Yes, by their mercy. How are you going to get their mercy?
Some endeavor should be.
Pardon?
Some endeavor should be from our side.
Endeavor.
Yeah.
Finding out what they want, how to please them, and trying to do it. As far as chanting goes, he said there's a process of chanting. Okay, we may not have realized, we know we may be convinced that others have, but we are somehow, we have some faith in the association of devotees, we follow the process, and if properly done, then the faith should grow. We become, and by Krishna's grace, he'll reveal himself. Mercy to devotees, Krishna, Yasya Prasada Bhagavan Prasada. The devotee, by the mercy of Krishna, we get the pure devotee, we get a spiritual master. By the mercy of the spiritual master, we get Krishna. So we're pleasing the self-realized souls. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes by serving them, by inquiring from them, they can reveal that truth to us. Later, just after that verse, Krishna explains that those who dedicate themselves to this knowledge realize this knowledge in due course of time. So it's that faith, as like Srila Prabhupada said, he had sometimes he said blind faith even, but implicit faith in the instruction of his spiritual master, everything is revealed. It's the process. Yasya Devi Parabhakti Yatadi Vitatago Tashita Yaktaka Tapakashante Mahatmana. One who has implicit faith in the spiritual master and in Krishna, everything's revealed. Krishna will reveal it. It's that cultivation of faith and the mercy of Krishna. Faith is developed in association, by hearing in the association of devotees, and by practical application. By applying that which we hear, we do get realized. If you preach Krishna consciousness, you do. Everybody has experienced that. You get many realizations. It may not be complete, but realizations coming one by one are there. By giving what you have to others, Krishna consciously, you get realizations. But ultimately, that realize with transcendental senses, when our senses become purified, Takshi Krishna Namadina Bhavat Kvayamindri, Sevam Mukhahi Jivaro Shvayamiva Sprachitaha. With our materialistic senses, we can't understand these things. When the senses become purified, by chanting, using the tongue for chanting, engaging the tongue in chanting the holy name, purifying us, our consciousness, everything becomes revealed, or Krishna reveals it. The sun rising in the morning lights everything up. We have to stay in the Krishna sun, we have to stay in the fire of devotional service, and gradually things can become realized. At least we can remember that there's no difference between Krishna and his name, that he's present right here now in the form of Krishna, in the form of Nam. And we show respect. We show respect to Krishna, at least if nothing else, and not ignore him when he's present. You know what it's like if you invite somebody and you ignore them. Have you ever had that experience? You invite someone to your house and then you ignore them. It's not very comfortable for the visit, for the guest. They just go away. Krishna's more kind than that. Even though we ignore him, he's still there. We tend to ignore him. We invite him, Hare Krishna, and then we ignore him. What to do? Pray. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Premanandi. Now Damodarastakam. You have Arti or Damodarastakam? Damodarastakam. The new brand of computers, you may have not seen this, Nitai Mac, or Nitai Mac. The latest brand, very special. Jai. Jai. His Holiness Dhananda Maharaj ki jai.
Would you like to sing Damodarastakam, Maharaj?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to stay there?
No, I'll sit on the floor if that's okay.
Sure. You got some book for you?
I think I should stop it. Should I stop it?
Yeah.